Hello, and welcome to our mini retreat, IRC Mini-Retreat. My name is Gregor. If I he, him, you may know me. If you do know me, you may be wondering where my hair went. I lost some of it, quite a lot of it. Um, Either way, welcome, welcome, welcome. It feels very special to be part of this with you, to help welcome you to, in a sense, this space that we share quite magically through our technology. That I'm gaining a lot of affinity for this magic we find ourselves using in this strange world right now. So yeah, I just wanted to offer this welcome, and I had to share a little personally. For those of you who don't know, I've lived here for 3.5 years and left the beginning of the year. And during that time, just so touched by this experience of you and those like you coming here. And I was just talking to my dear friend Doug, who's behind the camera, about what it's like to be a resident here. It can be many ways, but one thing that's always been very clear, and I felt so grateful for, is this experience of witnessing people coming here and offering themselves so wholeheartedly to themselves, to each other, to all of us, to this practice. And it continues to touch me, to inspire me. We're all volunteers here, but I used to joke that residents were paid our salaries in closing circles. As you don't know, when we have retreats that end, we have closing circles and can share some of their experience and how that would fill my heart each and every time. It's like a reservoir for me I can still tap into. And so I wish this for all of you in some way, in some capacity. I kind of just can't help but metaphysically wish this, bring this into the space for all of us. This little mini retreat that we're doing together, we all kind of pitch in here, and the dana, the generosity, is so ingrained in what we do here, how the teachings are offered here, all the service, and I feel it's quite core to how we have moved through these trying times, these months, this year, pandemic, everything else. Whereas many institutions of any size having trouble with all kinds of things operationally. From my perspective, we've been extraordinarily nimble and agile and able to offer these online retreats in different forms. And I feel really the core of that is because we run on goodwill. The goodwill is not tied to the stock market. It's just it bubbles up naturally, and this practice of ours supports that, and it's so beautiful. So anyway, just a few words of appreciation and really a sincere, deep welcome that something of this magic can touch your heart just this morning as we practice together. So with that, we do a little moving around to share the space. I didn't mention, of course, the teacher, lovely Art Bruni, will be guiding us this morning as well. You probably know. And I'll make another announcement at the end. But I wanted to first just point out this wonderful carpet we have. Those of you who have been here before, maybe it's kind of like an icon. For me, it is. Doug's going to do his best here. But it's just so soft. You really can just lie down on it. And I'm just going to demonstrate. This is a very underestimated meditation posture. People think it's really not cool, maybe not cool. It's great when we put it out there. And you can do it at home. You don't have to anywhere. I used to think there was a great story, a great history about this place and the carpet. And I found out that actually we got at some point. But really lovely, beautiful, and kind of a refuge for one as well. Very special to me. And I think what we'll do with our last few minutes is we'll make our way over to what we call the treehouse. Now, this is the building just beside this one where the teachers stay for retreats. But there's a really nice view there, and I want to like make that secret teacher view public. I want to share it. So let's head on over, and Doug will do his best as camera person. And while we're out here, just to enjoy this nature. And I'm not sure how well you can hear me, but I'm not going to say anything too important. I really just want to share too these grounds that Stas and others and so many of the volunteers, the broader community, have come here and there over the years that I've pitched in so many ways. And all of those efforts are here, they're in the grounds. It's something that may need a little adjusting of the perception, but that perception of knowing how all of the service that has gone on through the years lives here in all these forms, that's been very meaningful for me. So I cultivate that as I walk around. I love these redwoods. So as you can see, maybe there's a private sign here, but we're just going to go right through it because we're VIP. Uranium, I think. I don't know, but you walk by and rub it. It smells really nice. Yeah, there's a spider web here. Man, you can't see me, but huge spider. Okay, so here we are. They call it the treehouse for a reason. Gorgeous stack of trees up like this upward lift, so beautiful. I know it shows heavy stuff, but this view, long. I don't know, or yeah. I don't know, something about it. It's helped me, and it helps me remember that this is inside as well. The outside reflection of spaciousness in nature, supportive, especially so in knowing that it's in our hearts as well. So with this, I want to mention again, yeah, just a deep welcome. I'll be handing it over to Bruni in a moment. But I just also want to mention that we have this lovely community time together at noon, and the link for that to Zoom is going to be on the YouTube page there, chat, and the community. The password is community. Zoom. I'll mention that later. We do have that time. You're welcome to join very much. And yeah, I pass it over to Bruni, and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Gregor. It's so great to see you and to see, yeah, there were some changes in Gregor. Arising and passing changes. So it is a delight to be here with you all, continuing to be in retreat. I think that some of us were together with RVs too, with Gregor and Yan Lee and Kathy and Heather and Doug, and it's just a joy to continue being here at retreat. And so I think you're the first group. Yan Li was the first person I talked to in the past 2 or 3 days since we ended the retreat on Sunday. So it's just a wonderful way to continue being in retreat, seeing how things change. I wanted to be with you all, supporting the community, supporting all of us, because you also support my practice. So how much we bring ourselves to retreat, and how much we let retreat to practice us, the practice to practice us. We may explore a little bit of that today. The form of retreat changed for some of us this past Sunday, but in some ways we're continuing retreat. And for some of you, you're starting retreat now. And so we set some conditions. You know, we brought ourselves here, and we had the intention to be together, and we are allowing ourselves to be supported by all the wonderful RVs that make this production happens. IRC Central. So let's see how it goes. And with that, I definitely wanted to express deep, deep gratitude for everyone, including you, everyone that makes possible for us to be here in a field of generosity, in a field of care, in a field of trust and confidence in the practice, in a field that value the benefits of this practice, and that really recognizes how it is that this practice is not only for ourselves, but for everyone. And that as we bring this practice into our lives and our lives into the practice, there's no difference, because it's manifested what we learn in our manifestations of body, speech, and mind. So how much it is that we bring ourselves to retreat, how it is that we define ourselves or do the practice, or how bruni is manifested, and how it's just a bundle of things arising and passing, being manifested. And so with that, we just, now that we're here, let's settle into this moment, and just remembering the value of the practice, the benefit. Knowing that we took this time to continue cultivating wholesome qualities of the body, mind, heart. And so as we are in our retreat space, We arrive here, starting with this guided meditation, to bring ourselves together here fully, knowing that we can take care of other things later. That we can soften, or maybe set the conditions to soften. And let things unfold as they are, just as they are for you right now. So being here with however you are right now, taking a posture that supports you. Embodying a posture that reminds you that you are here, that the body is here. And really feeling in the posture. Let the posture hold you. It could be sitting, standing, or lying down. And standing, lying down, sitting, even walking. Let the posture be part of the retreat center from where you're practicing. Allowing the body to rest in this posture, allowing the body to rest in the weight of itself, held by gravity. And maybe part of the little doing that you can do is just having an alert, an alert and relaxed posture, not forcing it, but a posture that manifests care, support, presence. Posture that you have a sense of it as it sustains the body, the point of contact of the body with whatever you are letting the body be the body. Taking refuge in this posture. In this posture that manifests Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. And taking 2 or 3 profound breaths. The in-breath, the pause, and the out-breath. Let it permeate your entire body. Let it remember that you're here. In this body. And as you take the in-breath and let the out-breath, the out-breath follow, just letting things as they are right now in this body. Letting go into being here. Letting now the body breathes itself. And maybe checking to see if there's any subtle, gentle softening through the body that may support you relaxing into being here. Like relaxing the muscles of the face. Relaxing the jaw. receiving the physical sensations as relaxing happens, as softening happens. Maybe even receiving ease, even if it doesn't happen, the relaxing, but just being at ease with how things are, knowing that you're here, practicing. Relaxing the neck, softening the shoulders. Being receptive to the in breath and the out breath. Nothing for you to do in breathing now is receiving the breathing. And softening the belly. Maybe sensing a sense of being rooted in this moment by being present. And seeing what is this physical experience of breathing. What does this breathing experience feels like? And dropping the attention in the body. To receive this experience of breathing. Let the breathing supports the body in relaxing by staying close to this dear friend of breathing, by not directing it, but by just letting it be. By just being aware of the body breathing itself. As you receive the sound of my voice arising and passing, receiving now in these last minutes of our meditation the sound of the bell, receiving the sound of the bell in the same way you were receiving the breath, the breathing. As you listen the sound of the bell, from beginning to middle to the end of the sound, just receiving, receptive, aware. And now, as we continue retreat practice, now we're shifting, transitioning into walking. If that is what you're going to do as you're moving practice. And as you are holding now that intention, notice how there is a little bit more of doing now, of agency, a little bit more into setting the conditions, more conditions for walking. But just what is necessary. Where are you going to walk without having to go into problem solving of many different options, but just choosing very simply where to have a path of maybe 10 or 15 steps, and see how it is to be aware of walking. Just enough to receive the experience of how it is to walk. Physical sensations. Bringing your attention back. If the attention gets distracted into planning or emotions. Receiving everything that shows up with respect, with care. And then continuing going back into being present, aware as you walk. And so we're going to be walking for 20 minutes or doing any other movement that you wish. And the RVs will ring the bell 3 minutes before the walking ends. And we will come back at, that will be 10:47 that the bell will ring. So we will come back at 10:50 for continuing retreat practice with another guided meditation. Thank you. Happy walking. Mm. So continuing our practice, taking another form now of maybe sitting or lying down. Still practicing, staying on course. So gathering together, gathering the mind, the attention into this moment. Cultivating stability and steadiness. As we breathe in and as we breathe out, and relax into it. Settling, settling into the body, into the posture. Knowing that the body is breathing. Are you mindful of knowing that the body is breathing? Thoughts that come and go. That sometimes show up suddenly, or emotions that arise and pass. Or all types of physical sensations. And it's okay, we don't have to be in conflict, in favor or against. We just give respect and care. Let things be as they are. Let them arise and pass at their time without getting involved, entangled. Just coming back to this refuge of the posture, to the anchor of the breathing that supports this dear body being here. Staying close to your experience of the present moment, of being here. Of knowing that you're here. Of simply knowing the experience of breathing, the experience of being mindful. With an awareness that allows, that receives, more than directing or forcing. Staying here, kindly and lovingly in this field of awareness. If at any point you find yourself in thoughts distant, just starting again is the only effort. Maybe just put in a little bit more effort if you feel is necessary, to the extent necessary to establish mindfulness. But don't make it a project. Just set the conditions to be here, intimate, receiving the sensations of the in-breath, the pause, and the out-breath. See if you can befriend this experience and stay with it. Kindly, gently, without forcing anything, but just receiving. Could be just being with the in-breath, or just with the out-breath. Resting your attention in the in-breath or the out-breath, or even in the pause in between them, resting just with the effort that is necessary, not over efforting. Or let things be as they are by just being here, mindful. And let's see how the practice unfolds. So going along with this theme of how much we do and how much we let things to be or we not do as we are on retreat practice. It goes along with the topic that Gil has been exploring this week in the mornings of how it is that the self arises, how it is that this activity arises and passes. And there are useful, supportive ways to recognize when it is that we have agency, how we are engaging in that agency, to practice, to be on retreat. And so, even maintaining the conditions, staying here, having the time, independent of circumstances, having that intention is part of engaging into views that support us. Engaging into wise view of wise intention, wanting to see how it is that we clean when clean is present, when is absent, so that we can understand it, so that we can know ourselves well, so that we don't create more ways of selfing to get rid of the clinging in not supportive ways. And so, there may be sometimes that we just need to keep track, okay, how it is that I'm setting conditions to practice, and what is the attitude, the quality of the mindfulness that I relating to, that I'm recognizing. How much I'm in mind is here. I need to make this happen now. Or, I have to be on retreat now because later I cannot be on retreat next week. And so as soon as there's some kind of contraction, even if it is subtle, you may know that, oh yes, there it is. And there may be very subtle the stress that is happening. And we may be so used to it because of habits in our lives or how we have learned to be, that we just don't recognize that there is selfing happening. And it's not that it's bad or wrong, but it's how it is that we associate it to it and relate to it in practice. that really can tell if there is any kind of entanglement or something that we're not allowing that activity to arise and pass. And we're making it to stay longer than needed. So for the circumstances and the moments and situations in we are engaging into a role, like for example, right now I'm engaging into the role of a teacher. There may be ways that, or guidelines, or that we can follow to see how it is that we can relate in a way that we don't make things bigger than they need to be, or we don't solidify these roles for the rest of our lives, because they come and go. And just reflecting on the times, the years that I worked full time, and how after I stopped working, that role just went away. It's gone. And it arises with other flavors and other tastes, the memories, sweet memories, learnings that now I can maybe apply even in a more spacious way in other areas of life, relating to others. So there are ways in which we can, yes, for the benefit of developing the practice, we engage, we bring a level of effort and intention to the practice. And there are moments to be directive, and there are other moments to just be receptive. And one way, for example, when there's so much going on, like these times, unprecedented times, it may be more times, more moments in which we're directing ourselves of, okay, let's practice, let's just remember to sit, let's just remember to connect. Just going back to our hearts and minds, remembering what is important, what is valuable, how it is that we want to be in this life. If we want to be in this life in a way that will benefit others, care, we show care through our actions to others, and we care also for ourselves and all our relations. Then we can definitely see, okay, how it is that I want to engage in all the different roles. And when there are no roles, and there are no views, opinions to hold, then we let the practice, the fruits of the practice guide us. Because then all these different qualities, wholesome qualities that we cultivate in the practice, and then that soften that sense of I, me, mine, just being, then support us in how to act from a place of not reactivity, but responding from an empty place, an empty place of I, but of being here, action that comes out of wise intention, of wise view, aware of consequences, aware of when clinging to identities or ways of being softens. So as you go through your day today, you may continue practicing. How much practicing with how much it is that, how it is that this self arises and how it is that the doing happens. So for example, during dinner time, before you take an utensil to eat, a fork or sticks or a spoon, you didn't have your name on it. It was in the drawer with many other spoons and forks and sticks. And so just notice when you choose it and you start using it. Notice that activity of, this is the fork I'm eating with. Is my fork, or it's just a fork, just a fork being used to eat. How it is that before taking a plate, that plate was just a plate, was just an innocent plate. The salad was in the refrigerator. Maybe it didn't have your name with it, I don't know where you are, but notice how it is that we name appropriate things as we go to use them, but then they're just gone. Go back to the refrigerator, and better than that, it goes to the sewage system. Really, if you go to the bathroom today, take a look. Yes, take a look and I say, is that me? And see what comes for you. Well, because when it goes to the sewage system, you will not be able to differentiate anything. Everything is going to go together there. So may you be able to practice and with your wisdom and care and dedication for your practice, that you have discernment in recognizing how much effort, how much doing, and how it is that selfing comes and goes, comes and goes. And may it support you to see also how it comes and goes when you relate to others, when you consider others. And see how it is that we treat each other in a kind way, in a compassionate way, and with respect. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And let's see. Now I think that there may be time for sharing. Not necessary, but let me see what is in the chat here. If you have any comments, any questions. Any observations? Everything is welcome. And let's see who's here too. Sheila, yes. Amy, Doug, Michael, yes. Susan. Mm. Alicia, yes. Hey, yay, Oakland. Let's see. It just makes me so, I just feel so fortunate that we're all together here practicing. It just gives me so much joy because it gives me possibility of freedom and change for the benefit of the world through your actions. Yeah. Let me see. You're very welcome. Very welcome. I just want to just express my gratitude one more time for everyone that makes possible that we're here. All the resident volunteers, all the support, your presence, everyone that is practicing with us in any other places of the world. We're not the only ones here. There may be many others. And it's good to remember that because this sense of interconnection just reminds us that there is an impact. There is an impact through all of us, from one to another, to another, to another. So remember, even where we're not sitting, practicing together, but when you're practicing at your home, in your retreat center, in your monastery, just bring into mind and heart who else is practicing at the same time. And so as we move now into also community time, I think that there's going to be community time. Is there going to be community time?
Yes, but
okay.
I see two questions.
Oh yes, thank you, Yanli. Okay, let me see. I was just wondering to see if we had more time or okay. Feeling that this is feeling the tug of desire at the edges of my meditative calm. Yeah. Reminds me of Gil asking what we give that calm. Hold on. Reminds me of Gil asking what we give that come up. Is that talk trustworthy? This is great, Phil. And so I'm just curious now, what is your assessment there? Is it trustworthy? It's just great that you feel it on the edges of the calm. Sometimes for for me, it just feels like it's almost like that calm, like the calm of still waters, and like at the bottom of the lake, I just feel this movement of, it's almost like a light agitation. So just the fact that you're feeling it is, and that you're acknowledging it, is just wonderful. And see what happens. And see if it is healthy desire or not, or if there's something to consider later, or if it is something that is okay, it's trustworthy to let it arise and pass. Nisha. Oh, yes. Oh, this is Leash. I am so in retreat, dear friends. This is Leash at IRC. I just thought it was another person. Hi, Leash. Okay. So, Michael, how to stay present in all the chaos? Oh, that's such a great question. Well, you can stay present by taking breaks in the middle of things. Just trust yourself in knowing when to take a break in the midst of things. Taking a breath in the midst of things, part of being present in all the chaos, is that discernment in that moment. Okay, what is most beneficial now for me, for myself, for others? Let me just take rest. Let me just sit on retreat. Let me grieve. Let me call a friend. All that, Michael, is part of being present. Just hope that helps. And know that as all conditioned phenomena, chaos arises and passes. There may, these times feels like there's so much going on. But yeah, taking breaks in the middle of things. And then how does the practice help us in these changing times? Well, I would love you to tell me how it has helped you, how it has helped you, because there may be some reasons why you're here. And I hope that because you have seen some benefits, that maybe that is part of why you're here, or maybe someone has told you, yes, come here, or but I would say that, I don't know again how it is for you, but for me in these changing times, it supports me in remembering what is important, what is beneficial, how it is that I want to live this life and show up and be fully present, without holding a goal of being free just when things are okay and when things are calm, because there is so much more. So the practice helps us in seeing the changes and seeing how we relate to these changes. And then having moments to say, okay, there's choice here. How it is that I can respond. In awareness, there is a chance of responding instead of reacting, because awareness can hold everything in mindfulness. There's no preference of situations or circumstances. Um, Hi, Patricia. Hola. So nice to see you. Yeah, sending love. 2 abrazos. Um, then Michael, yes, you responded. It has helped me not to take sides, yes, and not to react with my emotions. Great. Great. And not taking sides. It's almost like you're giving space for things to show up. You're seeing things how they, how things are showing up without, being fixed to a view or clean to a view that this is how things need to be. So that's wonderful, Michael. Great practice. And not to react with my emotions. I can read in between these words that within not reacting with your emotions, that you're seeing them though, and that you're respecting them. But that you have the wisdom to see, okay, they're not mine. I don't have to define myself, or I don't have to go and dwell on them. So wonderful. I know there was some wisdom in these questions. Let's see. Upset 477. For me, showing up to this group seats have given me so much stability and feeling connected. Yes. Maybe I will say, if I can see all of you, how many of you feel that way in some moments? And I will raise my hand. Yes, definitely. That's what I'm here, even though I'm, sitting retreat. I'm like, oh, let me touch base. Yes, there's stability in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. And then Yan Li, okay, now I'm recognizing, dear IRC, RVs, that you have that symbol next to to your name. I wonder how to calm the mind to not have opinions when seeing heart-aching political things. Oh, dear Yanli, yes. I wonder how to calm the mind to not have opinions when seeing heart-aching political things. Yeah. Well, I can just share a little bit of my experience. And one is sometimes I just take a step back and with wisdom, knowing how much I can take in and just receiving, practicing really the listening as listening, the seeing as seeing, and then noticing when it's not possible, receiving it that way, and feeling the ache, letting my heart break, because I know you're there, Sangha. I know I have support. I remember, sometimes maybe it was Patricia one time that told me, so much aversion, but sometimes there's just a little bit of wanting, to practice, to have compassion, and just to see just a little bit. That counts. So let those glances, those glimpses of compassion, just acknowledge them. And acknowledge how much love and care you have for others, that maybe at some point that expands to see, okay, curiosity, how is this happening? What is happening here? What else is in this person? What else is happening here? And let the tears heal your heart and calm your mind. and soften the grip. Okay, so Liz just posted. Please feel invited to join our community time on Zoom. So there's the link. You all are more than welcome and continuing talking about all these different things that we have been talking about. So thank you so much. May you be well. May you take care of yourself so you can care for others too, and also include yourself in that care. Be well.
Thank you, Bruni, so much.
Oh, thank you,
your
Gregor.
offering. Yes. Just wanted to, just reiterate to everyone that we do have this lovely community time here. And there's the link, as I mentioned, way back when in the morning, YouTube chat, and the Zoom link, and there's the password is community if you need it. And yeah, other than that, just so much gratitude for everyone who's here. And just the coming together really just fills my heart. Yeah, really feel it. So just thank you so much. And yeah, I'll pass over to Lish, who will guide us in community time. Thank you.
Lish, you're muted.
Oh, so if you're still on YouTube, just hop on over to Zoom and we'll let you in. So we're signing off the YouTube. Take care, everyone.